I'm 43, my wife Greta, 45, have 4 children. Kiara's 18, Sean is 6, and a set of twins, Charlotte and Austin, are 4. Charlotte and Austin have always been horrible sleepers. I won't go into all the things that we've tried to get them sleeping well, but for now, I'm thrilled that they sleep in their beds at least 3 hours without coming into our room. Kiara and the twins sleep down on one side of the house, while Sean and my wife and I's bedroom is on the other end of the room. The only reason we don't have the twins down on our end is that the room only fits one bed on it, and neither child wants to sleep on the top bunk. I tried it once, and Charlotte woke up screaming, terrified in the middle of the night, and then Austin refused to even go near the bed. The room will also not fit a double bed and the twins' dressers' toys in that room. For whatever reason, Kiara has begun having night terrors and waking up screaming, which in turn wakes up the kids. I wanted to take her phone, but my wife said no. Instead, I threatened Kiara that if she woke up the kids again, she'd be the one putting them in their beds and sitting with them until they were settled in again, not us. Last night was the worst, and instead of screaming once, Kiara was yelling out until I raced all the way down the house and flew her door open, turning her light on. The twins were already crying in their room, so I made Kiara get up, show them that she was fine, and told her to stay in their room until they were asleep and went back to my own bed. This morning, Kiara has tried to sleep and was still trying to sneak back to bed to sleep at 11 a.m., and when my wife asked her why she was so tired, I told her, and told Kiara that this will continue to happen every time she ruins the twins' sleep for no reason. She has no trauma, no reason to have nightmares, and she even told me that, I know I'm dreaming, but I can't make myself wake up, but I can make myself scream to wake up. So that tells me that this is intentional. My wife feels that I'm the asshole, but I feel like she's too soft on Kiara, and I'm doing this for her. I'm doing this because she deserves her sleep and not to be woken up because an adult cannot control herself, versus when our kids wake up due to nightmares, bedwetting, and etc. Am I the asshole for making my daughter get up at 3 in the morning?
Am I wrong for folding down the pages of a book my friend let me borrow? You did not. I, 20 male, am taking a modern literature class this semester for my general education requirements, and I had to buy like 14 novels for it. My university's bookstore didn't have the option to rent them, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on buying books I'm not planning on ever reading again. I asked my friend, who is an English major and has probably at least every book known to man, if she had any of the books I needed, and she pretty much had all the ones that were required. I asked if I could borrow them for the semester, and she agreed. I started reading the first one, and when I would finish at a certain point, I would just bend down the top corner of the page just a little so I could remember where my place was. You motherfucker, that's where you fucked up. That's what bookmarks are for. I didn't think this was a really bad thing. I have always seen this done with books if you don't have a bookmark. And once you pick it back up, you put the paper back in place and it's fine. I was studying on campus one day and I ran into my friend. She came and sat down next to me and we were talking and just chilling, and then all of a sudden she sees the book I'm currently reading for class, one of the ones she gave me, and she starts to freak out, asking why I bent the corners down. I told her it was just to keep my place, and she starts going through all the corners that I had put down and put back up, like, look, I can see here, here, and here. And honestly, I thought it was a little dramatic. I understand she likes to keep her books in good condition, but she didn't say I couldn't when she lent them to me. And some of the books even have annotations in them from when she read them, so it isn't like the books are in mint condition. This is like book sharing 101. You don't bend pages in the book. Oh, this guy is so out of touch with reality. When I told my friend that, she just got even more upset and said I should have known and that it was common sense not to put the pages down. I apologized for not knowing, but she wouldn't hear it. She told me she wanted all of her books back, and I tried to tell her I would use a bookmark from now on, but she wouldn't listen at all. Yeah, I don't blame her. Now I have to spend over $100 on some books that will just get tossed or donated after the semester is over. Am I wrong for admitting I got married for money and ruining my cousin's idea of love? When I was in my second year of university, I found out I was pregnant with my current husband's baby. We weren't officially dating at the time because my husband was a pretty arrogant playboy back then who only did casual. After the initial shock and discussions on if I would keep the baby, my husband and his family were very insistent we got married since they're strong believers in a two-parent household, and also because my father-in-law is a semi-public businessman and he thought this would reflect badly on him. I said no initially for obvious reasons, but I eventually agreed to it when my father-in-law offered to pay off all my student debt and make sure I could finish my degree after I had the baby. He offered me a lot of other financial incentives, and we have a prenup which will make sure I'll be okay if our marriage doesn't work out. Honestly, I had little hope. My husband actually changed a lot after we got married and after our daughter was born, so we've been very happily married ever since. Not many people know the real reason I got married so quickly in my family. Everyone thinks we were just really loved up and moved fast. My younger cousin is 18 and she wants to drop out of university to marry her boyfriend of 2 years. Her parents are against this, but she keeps using me as an example of why it's a good idea. I heard this from my mom initially and I wasn't going to get involved since we aren't that close, but it came up during a family Zoom party. She was talking about how my husband and I's love for each other made things work out for us and it would be the same for them. When I said, actually, I got married for money. I received mixed reactions from my family. My cousin is devastated and said I ruined her idea of love and being in a relationship was pointless now. One of my uncles took it incredibly personal and said I was a gold digger and he felt awful for my husband and how he doesn't know where my mom went wrong with me. For context, my mom was a single mother and seeing her struggle was part of the reason I agreed to getting married. A few of my other relatives said that that's something you should keep to yourself because it's disrespectful to my husband and our marriage. I kind of agree on that point. My cousin's mom is really happy with me though. So what do you guys think? Am I the asshole here? No, because you're being honest, right? That was your situation. That's what you lived through. And if someone asks you and using you as an example and be like, oh, she did it, she made it out okay, you're like, nah, I did it because stability is the most attractive thing in a man. That's why you did it. I promise you, if he didn't have the money and those incentives, you probably would have made the same decision. Don't blame me for it either though. So
I just had the most chaotic doctor's appointment of my life. Mostly my fault. I woke up this morning and it was one of those doctor's appointments that you're not supposed to eat for. But I didn't realize until this morning that the only reason I get out of bed in the morning is to eat. So I lied in bed for so long because my brain was like, but if no eat muffin, then what point? And I lied in bed for so long that I forgot I wasn't supposed to eat. I started eating the gummy bears that I keep in my bedside table. Gummy worms. Why did I say gummy bears? I'm nervous because there's somebody watching me. I'm probably going to have to move. But that's an embarrassing thing to tell your doctor you ate for breakfast. But I got rushing into my appointment and I was late. So I said, sorry, I'm late. And they said, you're not late. Your appointment's tomorrow. But we'll fit you in now since you're here. And this nurse took me to this room and she hooked me up to an ECG machine. It's a bunch of like stickies with wires. If you don't know what it is, it looks like the torture machine in The Princess Bride that they hook Wesley up to in the Pit of Despair. So she's hooking me up to this non-torture machine that looks like a torture machine. I'm lying on my back shirtless and I covered my belly with my arms. And she said, oh, sorry you have to be shirtless for so long. And I didn't know how to tell her that I wasn't covering up my stomach because I was shy about my body. I was covering up my stomach because as I was lying there, I thought, when was the last time I cleaned my belly button? Like, yeah, sure, I shower, but when was the last time I really got in there and cleaned it? And I was scared that there was, I don't know, but I covered it up and she left the room. And then I'm like, got all these wires on me and I tried to like get up to see my own belly button and she walked in on me like this and she said, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm just admiring all the wires on my body. Also, she had to put stickies on my legs to hook my legs up to the machine and I was like, whoo, good luck with that because I'm depressed right now. And the only time I shave when I'm depressed is when I'm having a big blowout cry because I'll be in the shower, right? And I'm crying and I'm hugging my legs and the prickliness of my legs distracts me from how sad I am and that bothers me. So I shave my legs so I can enjoy my cry properly. And so it was just a briar patch down there. Then the doctor comes in, smacks my knee with a hammer. Nothing happens. I didn't think anything was supposed to happen. I thought that the reflex reaction was just a thing that happened in movies. And then he hit my other knee with his hammer, and I made the sound that a dog makes when you step on its foot, because I forgot to tell him that I scraped my knee recently. And I was excited about it. I was like, awesome, I'm gonna have a cool scar on my knee for summertime, and everyone's gonna think, ooh, she plays hard, she's badass. No one's gonna know that it's because I tripped outside of a Panda Express while a man was holding a door open for me. So at the time I wasn't upset about it. I was like, skin heals for free. I'm more upset that I ripped my leggings. But when I was a kid, I healed like a vampire in a TV show really fast. And now I heal like a sloth taking a shit. Like it takes forever and it's not pretty. So I've had a gimpy leg for 10 days. The doctor comes in, bonks it with a stupid Dr. Hammer. And he apologized when I yelped, but said, hey, we got a reflex.
Am I the asshole for going on vacation when my daughter had a broken leg? About 3 weeks ago, my daughter Sam, 19, got hit by a driver on a crosswalk. I was scheduled to take a much-needed vacation the next day with DH to Cancun for 2 weeks. We haven't got to use our timeshare since 2020. When I left, I just heard Sam had a broken leg and didn't think it was that big of a deal. While I was out of town, my family started calling me more and more. My family includes Sam's sister, Brig, 24, who makes drama out of everything. Literally after 4 days of this, I shut off my phone. Well, I came back from vacation and Sam needed major surgery on her leg and then stomach for bleeding. Am I the asshole for going on vacation when my daughter had a broken leg? I came back and Sam needed major surgery on her leg and then stomach for bleeding. She's on my husband, her stepdad's insurance. Brig and their father had to fly out and take care of Sam because she goes to school out of state. Now everyone is mad at me and my husband because we helped up insurance processing and Sam's recovery. The only thing I told my husband was that Sam was involved in a hit and run and she broke her leg. He got mad and said if he would have known, we would have never went on vacation. I've explained my side of things and considered it a miscommunication from everyone, and everyone is calling me selfish. My husband isn't talking to me, and my children have offered to help Sam out.